The advice that I would give to students breaking into the industry is to just be receptive to sort of opportunities and not to limit yourself by saying, hey, I only do one thing. There's a whole load of things that you might not do now that you could discover that you might enjoy, and there's a lot of opportunity for people who are flexible and willing to learn on the job and basically try different things. So if you're a die-hard VFX modeler, try some texturing. There's great programs like Houdini out there for people who want to do effects work, or you could do some animation. It's quite a rich world in visual effects. My career highlights, there's a few. I'm a die-hard comic book collector, and I got to work on The Dark Knight Returns. I also got to work on the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie for Marvel. So those were personal highlights for me. But also recently, I started the industry 16 years ago as a runner, thinking I would never be good enough to actually work as an artist. And only last year I returned to DNEG, where I started as a runner, as a supervisor. So it goes to show you what can happen with time and patience and practice. I started as a runner on Batman Begins, which is the first of Christopher Nolan's trilogy. And then about 4 years later, I was working as a modeler on the second one at Framestore. So it's funny how time can turn stuff around. It's not a bad first runner's gig, but I was mostly bringing people tea and trying not to drop film footage when I was delivering it around Soho. I mean, back in the day, runner really did mean runner. You would deliver stuff to different post houses and editing suites around Soho. And nowadays, it could be any number of different roles. Really, you just need to make sure that you're keen and eager and show enthusiasm. I've had a fantastic time at Confetti this morning. We had a really good talk, some great questions. Looked like people really engaged in it. And then later today, we're going to talk to some people about their portfolios and hopefully get some one-on-one time, which I find students really engage with. So it's important for me to be able to offer that opportunity. But I think it'll be a great chance for them to ask some questions maybe they might have been too afraid to ask in the talk. I think the great thing about places like Confetti is that there are more and more educational facilities cropping up that are producing really high quality students, and they're engaging with the industry, and they're visiting post-production houses, they're visiting media hubs, and they're really trying to get the students an insight into the industry. And it's a growing industry, and it's a youth industry, and it's fantastic to see so many people getting this real world experience and seeing what their jobs could be like and getting excited for it. And I remember getting through the doors of any post-production house 15 years ago was nigh on impossible when you were in university. And now it's something that everyone embraces. So to see places like Confetti come up and get noticed and start bringing industry professionals down for Industry Week is just absolutely fantastic. And it's exactly what we need.